All right, welcome back, everybody. 230 Conversations at it again, fresh from Anonymous. We are fresh from Brazil, and Kosi is still here. Welcome, Kosi. Today we have a special guest, but before I introduce her, ngifuna nje nizwe ivoice yaka Kosi bafethu. Yazi it's the best thing to ever happen since I almost said yellow bones, so let me not say anything.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel.
No, look guys, we're laughing much, but we're going to be going into a very deep segment today. It's going to be a very sober podcast. So that's why we're trying to at least sling it before we deep dive into it. We are joined by a very good friend of ours, namhlanje, NAZO. Some of you may have seen her on some of the initiatives that we've been involved in, screaming, making noise and having fun with us. Today she joins us and she has a story to share with us. It's a deeply sobering story. And we're hoping to have an interesting discourse and learn a couple of things from NAZO's experience. And we are privileged to have abantu that sometimes take the pain on your behalf, so to say, and we then get to live through our experiences and learn how to navigate around this life thing. NAZO, thank you so much for joining us and welcome to 230 Conversations.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone.
And this is the other side of 230.
Okay.
You're used to that one where we're packing clothes.
Yeah.
And
not sleeping.
And not sleeping. Yeah.
And she was also there on our first, was it our first or second I Worship?
Oh, yeah.
It was the first.
So you've also experienced at Townsview.
Yes.
What did you think of that?
I think that's the first time that I actually spoke about anything that ever happened to me on that one, because I was part of the testimonies, right?
Yeah, we put you in the testimonies.
Yeah. But it was a good one. The experience for me, it was the best.
And today we thought, I know we would have limited you that day because there were other testimonies and what. Namhlanje, we want to go all out. We want to experience you in your fullness. Know your entire story. And maybe the best place to start off is, who would you describe NAZO as? From childhood, and to how you've shaped yourself into the person that you are today.
I think there is no, there are two different NAZOs at this point. The one that I grew up as and the one that I am now. So they're not the same. But overall, I'm just a reserved and a happy person.
Yeah, when you speak about happy, when I met NAZO, I don't even know how we met.
Yeah.
At this moment, I was trying to think, how did I meet her? But every time I meet her, she's like a happy soul. And then when she told me a story, I'm like, wow.
And it's the same with me as well. I can't pinpoint to say this is the first time that I met Unas, and this is when we started clicking, and I don't know, we just enjoy presence. Okay, you feel it. Eh? She comes in, she's part of the furniture, and she runs with matters as if she's the initiator. I'm glad we're in 230 Conversations, and she started off this. But NAZO, tell me about your childhood, and let's talk about those two versions.
Okay.
NAZO the child and NAZO the one that we have today. Yeah. But first, take us through NAZO the child and her experiences as a child.
Okay. I'm the first of 4 kids, and we're all girls. So, growing up, I had a happy childhood. I was fine, but I was a very quiet person, and I kept to myself a lot. So, anything that I would go through, I would not share. I was just the quiet person, even in class at school. I was that student that teachers wouldn't even know I'm in their class. I was quiet like that. Even if I know the answer, I would not say anything. So I was that type of a child, but at home, things were good. I grew up fine. I had a very happy childhood. Right. And then this other one was born by the experiences that I had in life.
And at what stage? So when you say it, Manje, you sound like you were introverted.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
So, and I was going to ask you that, were you introverted because of your home background that made you the person that you became. But it sounds like you came from a fairly good background, right?
Yeah.
So you were just in jail. That was just your
That was
personality
just me.
trait.
Yes.
Okay.
That was just
And
me.
what ages are we looking at this stage?
I think let's just say from as far as I can remember, up to about maybe when I'm 13.
13. Okay.
Yes.
And that's fresh teenagehood. Teenager starts at
Yeah.
13.
Yes.
So from 13 up until you had your experience, I watched that TikTok you were posting on, where you posted on TikTok, where you said, well, I won't say the age, but you'll tell us the age when your experience started on what you went through.
Okay. So when I was 13, I started high school, right? So my parents put me into a boarding school. So after the second year, I was best friends with these 3 girls and they were transferring. So I felt like, I don't want to go back there alone.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so I refused to go back to school. And my mom said, okay, fine, we're going to put you in a day school.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, that's when things went south. But I got enrolled in that day school. And that's when I started changing now.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I am more accommodative. Now I talk too much, I'm absorbing different things around me.
Yeah. Why is that though, Nazo? And sorry to jump in. Are you naturally doing it? Is just this natural metamorphosis, or is there something that's forcing you to do that? Are you looking at other people and feeling the need to fit in, or how does this change come about, or what inspires it?
Okay, it's like when you shelter something.
Yeah.
And you might feel like, okay, it's the way it is because it's in this particular item.
Yeah.
But if you free it, now it just becomes free, it just does what it wants. So I don't try to fit in, but whenever I get into a space, it just comes naturally. Nami, I don't even know what I do, but
And that's what happens with Nazo. Like, you'll swear she has known someone for years, but it's been just 2 weeks.
But is it so? This introvert, are you saying that wasn't really you?
I think so.
There's a loud you that you were suppressing all your life.
So. I think so. You know how they say when people say you are not humble, you're just broke.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah. So when that person gets money, you will see them. Yeah. So
but Manu, what was causing you to suppress the real?
I don't know.
Maybe it was the boarding school.
The boarding school.
Maybe.
Oh, then now you're getting into it.
And remember, I'm coming from primary school, and I never liked crowds and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe,
Were you at a girls' school, primary school, or was it a mixed?
It was a mixed. The only girls' school was this one after I left boarding school.
Oh, but there's always a problem. Yeah, but now with these girls' schools, I'm not throwing shade at anybody, but there's that girls' school there by Parktown. Everybody that goes through it, that's in But anyways, so then what happens? Shapna, grade 8, Gemanje, you are now in high school.
Right.
There's a new you are letting loose.
Yes.
Take us through now. So the
now
platform is
remember,
yours. I'm a
not-
camera wako. Yeah.
Remember now, I don't have parents. I'm in boarding school. So
Yeah.
I think now I'm free to do whatever I want. But fast forward to the day schooling part now, because that's where everything just changes, right? At that point, my dad had this church that he was now going to, right? So he was just like, it was their doctrine that if you're a man and you're in church, you must have your children. Like, you must have your family there. So, of course, we didn't want, because we grew up as Adventists, right? So at that point now, he has to make sure we leave Adventist and we come to his church. But it's not a nice church. I in a class and stuff like that. As a child, I'm saying that's what I'm seeing.
Should
as
say
a child.
multi class, as in
no,
a
as a
class
child.
or
No.
Wait, levels.
No. Okay. I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
I'm in a high school where everybody's making their hair and stuff, and I have to shave mine. You see, that's what I mean. Man, imagine. That's what I mean. So I remember we didn't want. I did not want. So one day it's just like, because I was used to going out, my dad would take us out, like, let's go to the park and stuff like that. Yeah. So this day he says, let's go, just pack extra clothes, all of you. So we packed extra clothes and we went with him. We got to this house. It was his friend's house. It was just different. I was asking myself, what's happening here? Why are these people living like this? I did not understand it at the time. And we just asking ourselves, you know? And then they say we're going to church. Oh, okay. We go to church. They say we are going to, they say we are going to Jordan.
To Jordan, the river Jordan.
The river Jordan.
Wow.
So that's when we found out Uguti, actually we are coming to be baptized. And these extra clothes we're carrying, obviously, if you get into water, you're going to need to change. So that's how we got baptized into that church.
But tell me about this house. You're saying you went into a house.
Yes.
And it was different.
Yes.
But just describe it for us.
The different, I mean, I'm coming home where there is mom and there's dad.
Yeah.
You know, and now I'm going to a house and I know this man, I know him because he's my best friend.
Yeah.
But I see that's his wife also, that's the other wife also. And I'm just confused at the whole thing because at that point, Anyaz.
It sounds like something Mtanda's already been. Oh, that's nice. At least he's not the one asking you the question, so I'll agree with you that that doesn't seem right.
So I did not understand it. So for me, it was just weird. I was wondering, but also with that mind, you are a child, so you're not actually processing things, you're just going through them. Yeah, that's what happened. So now we are at the river, we are baptized now. When you get out of the water, they give you a new name. I'm sorry, I'm gonna laugh a lot because they give you they give you a new name, right? Because when you get baptized, you cannot use this name, we said in the same club. You know, that's not the name that you're going to be called in heaven. God will not say Ashley in heaven, you know. Yeah.
So it's like your Christian name, like Paul.
A Christian name, yes. You need those. Yeah, so we get given those. And then we go home now.
So what was your name?
I'm glad you asked.
Oh, of course, guys. Okay, I was Maria.
Oh, okay.
Mama got you. Okay, so we go home now. And my mom was like, where are you? I said, brah. Because my mom was friendly.
Yeah.
So, Mama, they put us in the water. They said, singing Maria and stuff like that. And my mom was like, yo, okay. So now we started going to church with my dad. But still, I think I understand. So, but because he's making us go, we don't want to go. And sometimes he would leave and say, you must go to the prayer meeting, and we'll say, okay, and we'll go late on purpose just to show face so that when he asks if my daughters were there, they'll say yes.
Yeah.
You know? And okay, so after the baptism, we go home now. And my mom is now asking, where are you coming from? And we explain the whole thing to her. And now she's confused, but I think she was in that state of yeah, so she wasn't a part of it, but she just watched, and then started going to church with my dad from there.
Sure. All right, Sis Maria Sharpne. So I just had to throw that in, Sis Maria. NAZO, I know that you've experienced some of the most tragic things that a young woman can experience. And I wanted to dive into that now. Where do things start going south?
That year, I'm 15 now.
Okay.
And we're going to church with my dad. And they hold these camp meetings, like we have. Yeah, but there's a moment where the girls go for a virginity test and all of that. So now we are fresh kids from they call if you're not part of their church, they call you a heathen.
Okay.
So we are coming from the heathens, and at that point I'm 15, so they're expecting ukuthi we've been living wayward lives. So we go to that virginity test, we pass it, and they're like, wow, this is amazing. Like, okay, not amazing, but they were surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking of you guys as heathens, of course.
Yes. So now, when you pass your virginity test, you are then allowed to work in the temple. There's the house where their priest stays. They call it the temple.
Okay.
So, the girls cleaning and doing what? You have to pass your virginity test for you to
Go and work there.
qualify or to be eligible to go inside.
And if you don't pass?
You are an adult. Where are you going?
Oh, so the priest only deals with children.
No. Just working. He has his wives there. But you are just working, the girls who are going to sweep there, bring that, errand girls, something like that. Yes.
I want to know, how do they conduct this virginity test? I mean, is it a medical test?
No. They just look.
So you can tell we're just looking. Sorry, guys, angizazi lezi zinto. So they just look and...
They just look, yeah.
And then say you're a virgin.
Yes.
Does that make sense scientifically?
I don't know, but they do.
And then this whole thing of wanting to go and this thing that once you've passed, then you're going to work in the temple. Is that something that young girls strive to do? Is it like, what, an achievement of some sort or what?
I wouldn't know because I was not born into it.
Yeah.
So this is all new to me also. So, yeah, I think some do want to go inside.
But what did you think of it? I mean, you're going through this thing now. What's going on through your mind?
For me, at this moment, everything is weird. Everything. I don't understand everything that's happening. Like, every day, it's a your moment for me at that point. Because now I understand, And my mind, I got feel good level. Now I can...
comprehend.
Yes, So, the next thing, I'm inside there, we're cleaning. And then I think this guy, because, okay, let me just give you the structure of how they sit in church. During the service, right, the front line must be girls only, right? And girls, it's virgins, not just any girl. The front line, and then everybody else at the back. And then the men's side is these older men that are in front. And then it goes and it goes. I think it goes with their ranks, like maybe elder, deacon, whatever. So when we are sitting in church, when I lift my head, I see there's a man who's looking at me, right? And then I look down. When I come back again, he's looking at me, So we speak about it with my sister.
And una 15 at that point.
I'm 15 years. So now I'm in the temple, right? I'm working. So I think this guy went to speak with because it's only prophets that man the gate to the temple.
Okay.
So I think he had a conversation of wanting to talk to me. So they were busy giving us orders, and then wena, iyale, you understand? So when I'm walking to wherever they were directing me, I met this man. Right. And then he starts talking to me. Now he's clever, that man. He's not talking to me in a lingo of a 15-year-old.
How old is this guy?
He's 35 at that time.
And you called him Madala.
Aren't you 26?
A story for a podcast for another day.
Okay, so I don't remember the conversation verbatim, honestly, but I know that's the first time I met him. I don't remember what he said or what we really spoke about, but it's a weekend. This is happening over a weekend. When I go to school on Monday, I think I had told him, I go eskolo and go P.
Yeah.
He comes with his brother
Okay.
to take me from school. Now, it's only the brother that comes to the gate because
Yeah.
you know. So he comes, I say, my brother wants to talk to you. And I'm like, your brother? So yeah, he described it. Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
It's that guy, you know. But now, Nami, because I know, it's not the one.
Yeah.
So, cause I don't tell my friends where I'm going.
Okay.
I say, my dad is calling me. You guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Because it was our thing. After school, we'd go for lunch every day.
Mm-hmm.
But now, today, it has to be different. Short left. So I tell them, my dad is calling me. You guys, I'll see you tomorrow. And then I meet him. And then he drives off. I don't remember where he drove off to. But just the outskirts. You know how Bulawayo is like.
No, but I feel like you're about to tell us. Like so in terms of, is it a long distance from where he picks
Not
you up?
very long,
Yeah.
but just after the CBD, it's just land. That is nothing.
Okay, so you're like in the veld type of
something
thing.
like that, yeah. So he just drives to that side and then he starts talking now. Honestly, I don't remember what we spoke about, but I know he was just trying to relate to what I was relating to at that time. Yes, like, I love R. Kelly, stuff like that. That was the conversation. So as old as he was, because of our conversation, he would not feel it, would not tell. Yeah.
So bigger.
He knew what he was doing. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. So from there, he comes home now. So according to the law of their church, if you want someone's daughter, right, you go home, you tell the parents that I want permission to date your daughter.
Your 15-year-old
I'm
daughter.
15 years.
So they don't care about the age.
No, they don't.
There's no like capped age. No more than 18, they still come.
No. At that moment, right? Let me say, at that moment, it wasn't a thing. Right, let me say that. So this guy, he comes. My mom doesn't know what's happening. My mom is seeing people who have come to visit their friend from church, which is my dad. But the guys are there to actually ask for permission to date me. So my dad gives them. It's fine. They come home now. They come to see my dad to ask for permission to date me. And my dad allows them. He said, it's fine. So what happens now from this point is, now I know my dad knows this guy.
Yeah.
And remember, I haven't had a chance to have a boyfriend and, so now, I think now I'm excited. Because this guy is driving this big car.
Yeah.
I'm getting allowance every week to go to school. And I used to go in school. Now I have money.
You're balling.
That thing, I think it excited me. Let me not say I think, it did excite me. Because now the saying says in Twenty. So when we're sitting with my friend, we're talking about so and so having a sugar daddy, and like, oh, these girls, what are they doing? I'm not mentioning Guti Bra. I think I'm in the same boat now. I just keep quiet. And she knows, Guti, now I'm dating someone. And she's asking, how old is this person? I don't remember the age that I gave him. But I didn't give him his.
The real 35.
Yeah, because I wanted it to make sense, And then this is what happens. Now, this is the moment where everything now just took a different turn. He came to pick me up again, as usual. And this time he drives a different direction, but it's still the same concept. So.
And by same concept, you mean into the veld?
Yes. Yeah. And then this time, because usually he would just park maybe at a lay-by or just on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Now this time, he drove inside Eshatini, And now he tried to rape me there. Now, because for me, nje confused with time, man, I'm trying to fight him off, right? And he stops. As I'm a footy, I fight him and he stops, and then 1 year, and we come home, and Marayana is like, Namanga, you just fighting me off because you know Witty, you're not a virgin, you're faking this and stuff like that. So, unfortunately, there's another camp meeting that's coming up. So I go there. I'm still 15. I go there. They do the test again. Now these old women, they're like, Conta off la. Ngawe, girl. Who did this to you? Innocently. I tell them. Oh, okay. Let's go. So when you're in that situation now, you have to go into the church court. I think in SBA is also to wire a church board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We did that, and now they're asking me. Benukuphi kanjani kanjani. I explain Nami my side, and the verdict is that's your husband.
When you said he tried, how far did he go? Because manje if labo gogo are now inspecting and they're able to pick something up. So I know you said you fought him off.
Yes.
But how far did he go before Agega?
Far enough.
So he basically didn't try to rape you. He raped you.
Maybe. And I'm only saying that just trying to keep the virginity part in mind.
Okay.
That he didn't, I don't know how to explain it in a nice way. But
penetrate.
Yes, he did, but not far enough, if I may say. Yeah, something like that. Because Nami, I don't know how. Almost. Yeah. So that's what happened.
The only reason why Ngoza is because I don't understand this whole test like how do they test to determine whether you are a virgin or not a virgin. So basically test can pick up without deep penetration.
All I know is they're not using anything to detect whether you are a virgin or not.
Yeah.
All I know is they are looking.
He has labo coco.
That's all I know. I saw them look.
These grannies are the ones.
I don't know. Maybe there was something sinister that happened that I don't know of. But I'm just explaining the way it happened.
Yeah.
So now at the church board now, when I see my father's face, I can see a disappointed man. And so the next thing is he tells this guy, come and get your wife and clan nomfazi womuntu mina. Now, how does his 15-year-old leave home and go to get married? So, my dad decides to take my mom out so that these people can come and pick me up in the evening. Right? And they tell me, Uguti, right? So what you do is you take a letter, you write a letter, and you tell your parents not to look for you. You are going to your husband. My mom still has the letter. I don't remember what I wrote, but she still has it. So I wrote it and I left it on my mom's bed and I left. That's how I got married.
Sure.
Like, did you leave with a broken heart, or like you left as in, well, I've done this has happened, I have to go?
I don't know. I'm leaving because now that's what I have to do.
Back forced because if they're gonna say to you, you must write a letter saying 1, 2, 3, and your mom has been taken out by your dad, it has to create the impression that you are doing this voluntarily. At least it sounds like that way to me.
I think it's complicated because also at that time, I'm not saying I'm fooling.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I don't want to use the word force.
Yeah.
Because I did it. I did it. As much as maybe an adult would have said, no, we don't do this. Or maybe if I had been open and speaking to my mom about stuff, none of this would have happened. So Nami, I played like a huge role in it. So
I still think, my view is that you're still a child.
Yes.
And psychologically, You've been honest. You're excited about Lomjida. He's picking you up. You're getting pocket monies and all of those type of things. Now here's this opportunity, probably going to go and get married, but you're thinking like a child.
Yes.
And there is you're not getting the support that you require from abantu abadala at this point in time to give you a sober mind.
Remember, I haven't even had a proper boyfriend, so I don't even know. I don't even know what people, when they're married, I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
It was this like first time you're encountering being a wife, being a whatever it is.
Yes. So now here's a twist. This man already has 3 wives.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm the 4th. So 1 minute I'm in high school, I'm in class, and then the next day I'm somebody's wife. 4th wife.
How old are the other wives?
I don't remember, but I remember the one that I got married after was, I think, 2 or 3 years older than me.
So she's also a child, 17, 18.
Yeah, somewhere there. So this is what happens when we get to that house. Now they say, do not contact your mom yet. Like, make sure you don't contact her. I think it's because they knew, if I spoke to my mom, because yes, because my mom even tried to go to school to wait for me with my uncles and stuff. And that day I just didn't go to school. Because I'm married, but I'm still going to school from this house. So my mom just never got to me. And I remember the conversation was, when your 16th birthday, because that's what I was working now.
Yeah.
When your 16th birthday passes, then it means there's no grounds for statutory rape and whatever. So that's what we were going for. So now, after my birthday, no one was going to have a police case or whatever. So they knew. Remember, my dad is a cop. You don't know.
Oh,
my dad
was a cop.
Yes. So, yeah, that's how it happened.
Nazo, just the 2 things from my side I just want to understand. Your mom in all of this seems to be playing a very passive role. She seems to have power, but somehow all of these things are skipping her.
Yes.
How does that happen?
Because no one is telling her anything.
But you're living as a family. She lives with your dad.
But this is our secret now. No, Baba, it's our thing now.
So
she has no idea. That's why when people say, did your parents knew that you are getting married? I always say, not really. Because one parent knew exactly what was happening and the other parent had no idea.
So the time where, was she also going to church?
My mom is an Adventist. She never came to this church, Yakababa.
Not even once?
Not even once.
She didn't want to?
She didn't want to. She wasn't coming. So maybe if she had been coming with us, she would have known.
Pick these things up,
yes. But now she didn't know.
And ngizokubuza later ukuthi why did your dad leave the Adventist church? What led him to go and join this church? But that's not for now. What I want to know, Manji, is that as a 15-year-old, you're now living with this guy.
Yes.
Do you engage in sexual intercourse with this guy before you turn 16?
Yes.
And so this is now happening as if you are married and you're 15.
I'm somebody's wife now, yes.
Why isn't this considered statutory rape then? And why isn't your dad, okay, it seems like your dad is fine with this thing, but
yes.
I'm trying to figure out, why does he have to wait until you're 16? He's already committing statutory rape every day or whenever,
No. Let me explain it for you this way, Name. Because my mom is not in this church.
Yeah.
So she has power to report and go to the police and everything, right? So if it comes to that point, they have to also have a way to defend themselves, right? Because my dad is in it.
Yeah.
He understands it. He supports it. He has no problem with it. But my mom, she obviously would not want it. and she's not a member of this church, so she would not hesitate to get you arrested.
But now you've left her house, you're living with this guy. For you're a 15-year-old, so it's been a while. I'm going to assume that you guys are living for a
Let's
while.
just say maybe a month
A
now.
month.
'Cause
And your
I'm
mom
almost 16.
is not moved to do anything.
She doesn't know where I am. She has no idea where I am.
Go and report to the police station that you're missing. None of them.
She can't.
Oh, you left the letter.
My dad is a cop. Remember, I'm telling you, my dad
It's a messed up system,
Even
eh?
your sisters, they don't know where you are.
They are young.
Because you're the firstborn.
I'm the firstborn. And
Yeah.
I'm not talking to anyone, so no one knows anything. So now it's just me and my dad. Even when I come home late, now I'm not going to get into trouble.
Yeah.
Because dad knows, she must have been
With
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a mess, eh?
Yeah.
It's a mess at all ends. And I think it's even more of a mess because you're not seeing anything wrong with all of this, what's happening.
Yes. Yeah. That's first.
So now you're living in that home. What's happening there for the term you are in there?
At first, it's just confusion because I don't even understand. This is my first time experiencing a polygamy.
Yeah.
This is my first time being anybody's wife. I don't know how to do anything. I'm just a child. So now I have challenges of maybe if I cook, obviously, yeah. And then what type of a wife are you?
And that time you're just a 15-year-old.
Compared to somebody who's been married for 5 years. So,
Sure.
But at that moment, those are the only things I'm worried about.
You should be getting Happy Meal. You're supposed to be taking you to go and slide them Zwinkini and
That's why
all
I
of that.
slide now.
Oh, you're sliding now?
Yeah, bro, I slide.
Yo,
So
yeah.
at that moment, now I'm in this space. My worry now is not, school. No, that's not my worry.
Yeah.
My worry now is, Nami, I want to be a good wife now.
Yo, because
That's what I'm concentrated about.
Yeah.
So are you still going back to school or school has stopped?
This is almost the time that I'm writing my final exam. So I write my exams. And I knew it's a quick but I just wrote. Yeah. So, and then that part is done. So now there's no school to worry about.
So Sis Maria is flopping as a wife at home and she's flopping as Koleni as well. But sharp, ne? NAZO, take us through. I don't even want to interrupt this story. How does it then develop? What follows after?
Okay, so bit by bit now, I'm understanding the system and how it works and what's really happening. So now I'm not just a stranger in it. Now I'm a full-blown member. Now I understand what we're doing and why we don't do ABC, right? So I start making kids. Basically, that's it. But now life is intense. Like, life is not easy, because I'm trying to navigate Nami being a wife, but that there are a lot of issues that arise when there's many wives.
Yeah.
If women singabanje in one space, it's already
It's a problem.
Yes. So I have those things now to deal with, but I'm still a quiet person, remember. So I cannot speak for myself. I do not say anything. So
He's basically interrupted his stage circle of becoming an extrovert because just when you were getting into that school mode of becoming extroverted, now you're back there as a wife.
Yeah. So now I'm just known for that lady that just loves laughing. But maybe it's a way of coping because I don't understand.
What's happening?
And what happens now is because we're still in the same city, right? Now he moves like out of the city to another one. So now we have to go and stay on a farm. This is another part where I didn't also know. Like I never grew up in that life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still I embraced it because that was my life. I understood it. No, like I was plowing and all of that. I did all of that.
So that farm, who owns the farm? Who
It's
stays there?
his.
Oh, it's
his. Now he sold everything he has to buy that farm, and we've moved to that farm now. Yeah. But before we do that, 2006, I get my first child.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about the kids because you say we start making kids. I wanna hear about that. Like,
so it means I was 17, but I heard her when I was 18.
okay.
Yeah. So that was my first child. And then 2008. Because funny thing now, 2007, everybody's pregnant except me. I have a baby, but everybody else is pregnant. Abona ngazi mind yami nami seyinjani but now
so wait, so laba banye, do they have children before?
Yes.
Okay, but now, so you have your first child.
I have my first child.
And then now seeds have been planted into these.
Elsewhere.
And now you want to feed in the
I want mine. I want to,
shame, man.
It's nice, man, this thing of being pregnant. I want to. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ngina my cravings and stuff. I unazo crave
So it's now must be this crave about McDonald's. Anyway, okay, it's fine. Sorry. Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, Nami, I want another child. So I get it. And then I give birth in July of 2008.
That's your second child.
That's my second child, yeah. He was a boy. And remember, there is no hospital. There is nothing. Like you live on prayer. So
no, sorry, but I don't follow. Mauti, there is no hospital.
Okay, the church, they don't believe in hospitals.
So when you're having a child, do they have midwives there or?
Everything is natural. Yes, I've been a midwife also. Twice or thrice.
But a trained midwife or one that becomes a midwife because
like
of.
I told you, remember with the virginity test, I said they look and they know.
Yeah.
So with the midwife, the Holy Spirit leads.
Holy Spirit or methylated spirit?
The Holy Spirit.
Wait. So when you're now having a baby, what happens? Anna's Anna like sanitizers and stuff to you know.
How do you do it? Like how do you deliver? Tell us about Mtana Kokala. Like how did that work out?
Okay, with my first child, Angazi next. So I'm just feeling sick, and so already I've moved from home because when you're about to give birth, they make you go and stay with the person who's gonna help you deliver the child.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I was. So for me, it was just a drama because I wasn't feeling well. But I remember the moment when she says, "Okay, NAZO, now push," and I was like, "How?" I didn't know. She was still saying, "Hey, when you push, ganja," but then the baby just came. So basically, that's what happens. You are with somebody who knows how to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, they have the little medicals now. Not even like medicals, but they know how to.
I'm a midwife that are led by the spirit.
Yes.
Uti holy meaning methylated, but the spirit in the subway.
The Holy Spirit, the Spirit of God. You know.
So then we've gone through that. The second child, you're just taking us through that.
I give birth.
Because you said something about he was.
Yeah. I gave birth to my son on the 18th of July. So he looks like a very healthy baby, like he's big, everything is perfect. And then we go home and 11 days later, he's dead. Okay, at first he acted like, Yabona, if you're about to have a flu, those flu-like symptoms, that's what he did. And then the next day he's gone.
Yeah. Shame, man.
And still, Yabona, everything that's happening to me, it's an experience all over because I'm like, oh, so a person is dead because everything is just surprising me, you know.
And you're still very young still.
Because I remember my mom came, so I'm sitting there with my mom. But if you want to see how young I was, the child, okay, the corpse is lying there. I'm grabbing my diary now. I want to write how I'm feeling. And my mom had to say, hey, because
Nkosi
she's trying to say like
act as an adult.
Yes.
Feel the emotions.
Yeah, but me now a corpse is lying there, but now I wanna put in my diary. My son is dead. You understand? So they say when a child is that little, you are not supposed to go bury him, because they believe obviously it makes the other kids that you have to follow, something like that. So only old women came, my grandmother, and they looked for other old women, and they took the baby and they went to bury the child.
Yeah.
I don't know where they buried him. I just know it was close to a river. That's where they say small babies are laid. So shortly after that, that's when we move away from that city. Now I stay far from my parents.
So it's after the farm, or you are now going to the farm?
Now I'm going to the farm.
Okay.
Right. Now we stay at the farm. I get there. And yeah, I'm just seeing life every day, something new every day. That's the life that I'm living, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do anything, but I'm learning and actually become very good at it at some point.
Yes, ma'am.
So the following year, because now in my mind I'm like, God, give me another child. You know, I've lost that child. You know, I really want another one, and I get another one. That was 2009 now, December. I got this is the third child now. So I took the first now at that point to my mom.
Okay.
I would say, please look after this one. Let me just concentrate on this one.
Yeah.
So my first child just lived with my mom from that moment. And then I'm at the farm with this one. Yeah, life continues, and I get another one.
Okay. It's now your fourth.
This is now my fourth, yes. This is 2013. No, this is 2012. Yeah. He's a boy again. And he grows up fine. Everything is okay. I'm not complaining. The problems that I have, but as long as we have life, man.
Mauti inzima usho kanjani, because you did mention you sort of like are getting into the you're understanding the things, you've become the perfect makoti or polygamy. Why?
Yes.
What difficulties are you referring to?
I'm referring to, the food that you're going to eat. I have to look for it myself.
Lomchita, what role is it playing?
Lomchita, anginamali into ezinzima ngiyazama mos ngibona nani. Yeah, so it gets to a point where now every wife, because at this point now we are 6.
Yeah.
It's 6 wives now. So at this point, every wife is doing for themselves and their kids.
Wait, has he added other wives? So
Yes.
After you?
Yes, we are 6 now.
Yeah.
So how many kids did he have in total?
And he is not financially strong.
No, he's not.
But this polygamy thing is a scam then. So why is he doing this polygamy thing if he doesn't have money?
Because it's not about money. God said, go and multiply, man. What are you talking about?
No, but Abomta, they keep telling us that
No, Mta is a liar.
It's a
Mta just like commenting.
No, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
No, but it's okay. No, but the thing is now he doesn't have the financial means, right?
But
He keeps taking. Abang.
So it's like, is that like a church thing? You can still take as many as you want.
Okay, this is what I was saying. The church allows you, even if you want 100.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
I mean, I feel like that's why these people like go to those type of churches, because by us, if they were not in the church, they were not even going to get one. So they have to find themselves in a church that, psychologically, what's the right word for it? Baba Chuta, they mislead young people. Yeah, they mislead these young girls. Baba Hlalise phambili, and then put these old men in front. And why are these old men that if they didn't belong to the church, they were probably gonna die virgins, Mona. But anyway, that's not story for another day.
Yeah. So he's not capable at this moment. He's doing what he can, but it's not enough because the family is big.
Yeah.
Right. So fortunately for the others, they had gone to school. He had taken them through college. So they were now working as teachers, but they are working for themselves and their kids, right? And then there's me who decided to drop out.
Yeah.
It's not really dropping out.
Yeah, I mean,
I decided to fail school. And not
but you're 15. They took you out of the, yeah.
So now my mom has accepted, this is what she wants, right? So now she's just supporting me in what I have chosen. So from my clothes to the food that I'm eating, it's my mom who's sending me everything. Everything I ever needed, that woman provided.
Yeah. Lomchita Nazo, would you say he was a loving husband or a loving partner?
I don't want to comment on that.
Okay. That's
because I don't know what love is. So whatever you're giving me at that point, I'm happy. I think this is it. So I'm content with it.
Would you be able to comment? That's if you're able to, in hindsight. So if you view it from where you are today, would you say he was?
I would say no.
How would you describe him?
As an average man.
What's an average man like?
Let me just continue.
Yeah. Before we start feeling judged.
Yeah. I don't want them to come for me. So we come now to a point where he has a 7th wife now.
Perfection.
Right? Good number. And I'm still getting help from home. Like, things are just not okay. But when he gets this wife now, things are beginning to look up for him.
Okay.
But what he does now is he just leaves us.
And then he focuses on her. Is she 15?
No.
How old is this one?
She's young.
But not
she's
that
15.
young. Okay.
So now I'm fending for myself and I don't even have a husband anymore. Right? So this child that I have now, the 4th one, gets like, I'll call it a throat infection because he had sores on his throat. So you remember, I don't have hospital to
take him to
tell you exactly what he was suffering from, but I know he had sores on his throat. So now I'm calling him. The child is not okay here, and now in his mind is thinking, Unazo is making these calls because she's jealous of,
and she wants more attention.
Yes. So by the time he comes now to see this kid, it's actually because he's going to a camp meeting again in that area. So we are going also. So it's not really about him coming to see the child. He's going to the camp meeting, but because he's already in the area,
I might as well.
Yes. Unfortunately, when I get there, I try to get help for my son, but he could not be helped. So he passed on the next morning. And I'm sitting there, I'm alone. My mom is far, I'm alone. So I'm just sitting in my tent with my corpse here, and I'm alone. I had to wait for my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. They are the ones who came and sat with me. And then in the evening, we buried my son. And by the time my mom arrived, because it was a long distance, by the time I arrived, this child had already been buried. So he says to me, you're going to go with your parents. You need to go with your parents so that they go and comfort you. So he sends somebody to drive me to the farm to go and pack my bags and go back home with my parents. And That's what I did. But that was the last time I ever set foot on that farm. So I leave and I come back home. And the day I get home, this third child, the fourth is dead.
Yeah.
This third child that I have, she just wakes up and she's quiet. She's not talking. And this is a happy child. I'm trying to check what's happening. Then the next thing, she's snoring. Like, I was literally in the next room. I wanted to change. And then I hear her snoring. And I said, no. This child was not sleeping. How can she be snoring now? So I ran to check. And I find she's already turned her eyes. She's trying to chew on her tongue.
Yeah.
And this is a day after I buried my son. So I ran to the kitchen. I started to pin. I put it in her mouth. And then I ran to my mom's work to say, come and see what umntana wenzani. When she comes, she's just, I don't know if I should say she was unconscious. I don't know what was happening. There's nothing. We didn't try to revive her. We put her in water. We did what? And then she came to. But now, she now has sores because we were trying to make sure she doesn't, So now I move from home. I go to sit with this woman who's going to help me take care of her just for 2 or 3 days, right? So on the third day that I go back home, she's feeling better now. When remember, this is still like literally days after I buried my son. So when I get home now, my first child says to me, Mama, when I'm swallowing here, my throat is flung. And I'm thinking, it's tonsils. I'm like, it's okay, baby, just gargle with salt, zoba right and stuff. And the next day, I gotta be right, man. She's getting worse. So, we need to go to church. We need to get help, and stuff.
So that's your first thought.
Yes, that's my first thought.
You will see, children are sick, we need to go to church.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we did. Okay, so now it's not tonsils. She also has the same sores my son had. We go to church and I remember sitting with her after they'd washed her and now she can't eat. It was just a lot. So when they say, you know what, just bring her here. Let's sit with her here. You go where you are because you stay intense. So you go where you are and just prepare what you're preparing. Let us monitor her here. So I'm here. I'm washing her clothes. And then I see a guy. He comes and says, can we have her garment? And at first I don't think anything. I just take it and then I give it to them. And then like a minute later, I'm like, no, man, this doesn't make sense. Let me just follow them. Why do they need her garment? So I see that guy is running. So Nami, I follow them. So when I get there, I find this guy is talking to my dad on the phone. He's saying, I don't know how you're going to tell mom, but Deltris is dead.
Yeah.
This is your third.
This is my first child now.
The first
the
child.
third child to die.
Okay.
I remember just standing up and just throwing myself at one of the guys' beds. I don't even know who it was. Because in my mind, it was not even possible that you lose 2 kids the same month, just weeks apart. It didn't make sense. And this guy says, because now, remember I said I'm fully into this. So my first, the one that got sick when we got home is still not okay. So after we've buried this one, guys, my child passed away around 11, 12. I kid you not, by 2 p.m., everything was done, buried and all, and she's 8. And my mom is calling to say, I've been staying with this child for years. Can you just wait for me? I have a proper burial for her. They were not giving her an ear. So I'm alone again. I've lost a child. Like, I'm just sitting there.
Comfort you.
I was alone. I was alone. There were people who had to come, but I'm talking about my support system. I was alone. So now I'm seeing that because my mom is saying, no, I've had enough of this. This one who's sick, I am taking her to hospital, right? Because so I was like, no. I tell him, I'm going to say, you know what? If I go with my mom, they are going to take this child to hospital. And then he says, okay, you will go with my mom. And I'm like, your mom and my mom are the same. Your mom is also not part of this church.
So if you take Umdana to the hospital.
I'll say. So he said, okay, it's fine. We'll go together. So now, after that, we go together back to his home in the city with this new wife. Now I'm a part of that.
Yeah.
And now in hindsight, I can say I really wish I had not. Because the emotional abuse that I went through in that moment, nothing can beat that.
From your mother-in-law?
No. From him.
From him.
I went with him. I refused to go with my mom-in-law.
Yeah.
I refused to go with my mom because I don't want them to take this child to hospital.
Oh, you were going with the child as well?
Yes, I had my child there. So, like, it got so bad because now we're sitting there and she's like, I would hear her saying she doesn't want to stay with anybody. You know?
That's the latest wife, number 7.
Yes. So, guys, I was sleeping on the floor and it was cold. You know? So, I remember I called my mom and I told them everything that was happening. Like, that was my first time now opening up about anything. I told them everything that was happening and my mom sent me money and said, come home. So now when I'm in the bus now, I'm going home. He knows, if I get home, maybe his name won't be nice here. So he starts saying things like, I wanted you to do this, but when I did this, sort of making up while I'm on my way home. And then he's like, okay, so if you've forgiven me, put me on your status and write, I love you. And I did that, guys. Up to this day, they laugh at me about it. I did that. So when I get home, they're like, well, now you was telling us problems and now what's happening? You know, but that just became the pattern of my life from that point. That I would stay home, maybe 5 months we don't speak. If he sees that, okay, it's been too long now, says Obanenkinga, he says, come this side, let's talk. And then when I get there, he says, okay, we will talk. You just need to go to the farm. And then I'll come there. And then Nami, I was beginning to say, I can't be quiet forever. So I was beginning to say, no, if we're not doing it, I'm going back home. I'm not going to the farm.
Yeah.
I refused. Yeah. So that happened like maybe 3 to 4 times. We come, we have an issue, I go back home. Yena, he wants me to go to the farm, Mina, I go back home.
Where was he staying with his new wife?
In Harare.
Okay, is that far from the farm?
Yeah, the farm is in Mutare.
Yeah.
This is Harare.
So he leaves the other wives and you at the farm. He dumps you guys then and starts off in Yula.
Yes.
Is
and
that
then
why
these other ones, they've also left because now they're teaching different schools, so they are not there. So at the farm, it was basically 2 of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
do you think like he wanted you to work for, like, I guess you say it's a farm. So there's labor.
No. It's a farm in the
farm.
sense of it just being a farm. There's no work that you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, you're staying there. That's where you stay.
Is the new wife the one elevating his life?
No. No, he did it. He had, but so I just began to say, no, I'm not going to that farm. You know, so if you don't want me here, I'm going back to my mom. So now, obviously, my dad cannot support me in that.
Yeah.
So we're not on good terms. And I used to be my dad's favorite child, but now, we're in a friction. So we continued doing that. And unfortunately, but fortunately, that's how I get pregnant with my last child now. During this confusion and the up and downs.
Sorry, Nazo, and I don't mean to interrupt you. I know we've got little time left. The Lomtana Lobega Kula that you guys did not take to the hospital, what happens to her?
She's fine now.
She's fine now. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good news.
She's fine now. So now I'm pregnant, and like the fights just become worse. If you thought things were bad, now they are worse. So I stay home and I give birth. And I'm staying with my mom. But now I now fear children because something in my mind is telling
what's
me
gonna happen.
She's about to die or something, you know. Yeah. So even if the baby has colic at night, I would just run and give it to my mom and maybe go and hide in the bathroom.
What's colic?
It's like there will be, I think by the, what do you call this? Heartburns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
For
baby
babies.
heartburns.
Yes. Yeah. But now, Mina, I'm just waiting for the worst. So I don't want to see another child die. So I'd rather leave it to die with my mom. You know, I'll come and check on you if you're dead, but I'll just go and hide. And then when I hear my mom has been quiet for you, then I say, okay, maybe it's safe. You know, but it was a traumatic thing to live through. But it just happened. So bit by bit now, I started like finding a voice for myself. You know, so at one point I was like, you know what? Because I was still trying to fix things. You know, I was still trying to make sure, I want this marriage to work. I still wanted it. But now there's something in my mind that's now saying, is it worth it? You know, so I call it quits. I'm like, you know what, I'm done. So we're having this back and forth on the phone. So what he does is, if he says, go to the farm, and then I'll say, I'll go when I want, he sends my responses to my dad. He doesn't send him what he is saying to me, what's making me respond
so
that way.
Painting you as a bad person.
So to my dad, I just became a rebellious child.
How's the relationship with him?
Now he's just a dad, like, hi dad, and that's it. There's nothing.
And your mom?
My mom is fine.
So you've got a good relationship?
Yes, yeah. So what happens now is these things keep on happening to a point where I say, okay, I'm done. Angsafuni, I'm going back home. So I go back home and he thinks I'm joking.
Yeah.
So he says, okay, now I have to go to the church board to tell them that you don't want to be my wife anymore. So now you have to write a letter to present to church so that they know, Ugusi, you are saying you don't want to be a part of my life anymore, and they must let me pray in peace. So I did it. So when I was writing it, I think for him it hit. This person is really doing this, because he was like, I don't have any problem with you if you want to make up your mind. And I was like, no, dude, it's fine. I wrote the letter and I gave it to him. So he presented it, and they sent like the elders to come and get me from home. Come, uzohlala ne church board, uzokhuluma. But now, back then, I knew if I had to argue with anyone or try to present my case, I would not win it because I cannot speak.
Yeah.
You know. So he was going to make whatever I say to be just so little, because we tried it. And if I present a problem, they say, that's just jealousy, you know, women, you know. So I refused. I said, I'm not going there. And that's what pissed my dad off the most, more than anything. Because my dad wanted me to come because he felt like if I come, they will see that, no, his daughter is innocent. This is the man who's been, you know. But I refused that, and I said, no, it's fine. So they announced in their church that Sengilahliwe, no longer a part of their church.
Nazo. And I really wish we had all the time in the world. We're going to have to have a part 2, Kosi. One last question from my side before I just share some of my own views. Did it ever get physical between you and this guy in your fights? Nothing?
Never.
Okay, no. Because before I jump in, I don't know, do you have any other thing before?
Maybe just give a short summary, like where is life now after that whole ordeal? Or
Okay.
like from that time, how did you manage to process the trauma, or what happened after? Did you go back to school? Did you do anything to like elevate your life and stuff like that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did go back to school, and I enrolled myself in IT, and yeah, career-wise, I don't want to complain much. I have the same problems that everybody else has, but yeah, I did go back to school, and what then happened was it strained the relationship with my dad. So now I was just a disowned child. My friend had to take me in, but in a nutshell, we live like estranged from each other with my dad because of that. Until one day he's sick. Oh, my dad was sick. And then now, I think something dawned to him because he's not here to tell us anymore what was happening at that point. But he called my sister and he started asking, Guti, Unazo, is she okay? Is she not thin? Is nobody troubling her? You know? So, and she was like, come and see Ubaba. So I went and I saw him, we sat, and for the first time I got the chance to tell him exactly what my life has been like. And he was like, you should have told me. You know, he was like, okay, when I leave this place, because he was sick, when I leave here, things are going to change. Everything's gonna be fine. And I knew, because my dad was connected. I knew, right, now my life is about to be fine, but he didn't make it. You know, so the only comfort that I have is that I know Uguti, he went, I know Uguti, I was loved by him. So that's a comfort for me. But his death triggered a lot of things. So that's when I fell into depression, started having anxiety attacks, and I'm on medication for it. But I don't want to say I've gone through anything. I'll just say God has been piloting me. I don't want to lie on that. So I still have hiccups as a person, some more, but I'm not where I want to be. But at least I'm not where I used to be. Yeah.
Can I give you a hug?
I'm sorry.
Like a half hug.
Group hug.
Nazo, thank you so much. Did you ever speak to professionals, especially because your childhood was stolen from you?
It's only with this therapist that I was seeing after the episodes. But yeah, I worked through it.
Did that help?
A little. A little.
You know, I find it very painful that one event gave an institution that is supposed to be bringing families together. But that one event gave that institution enough power to break up an entire family, take away the childhood of a very, very young girl with a great deal of potential. And it just saddens me, you know, that sometimes we give so much power to these institutions and they do the exact opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. But I just want to thank Unazo for coming out, and thank you so much, Nazo, for making this time to come and sit with us. We know it's not an easy story to tell. And I know that there's probably many, many other ladies who are going through this today and who don't know, like, how do we approach this? How do I even begin to speak to my father? And when you've taken us all the way to the end where your father says, I wish you would have spoken to me. And I want to encourage anybody that might be in a similar position, please, even if it means that you are breaking away from a religious institution or your family, there are many organizations that you could approach for professional help. We'll try and put some numbers at the bottom of our thing. So please reach out, or otherwise get in touch with us as 230 Conversations, and then we'll see what we can do to assist. But may God richly bless you. Nazo, I'm even no kuluma nje, you know, I'm still trying to process everything that you've said, but siyambonga uNkulunkulu for giving you the strength, and thank you so much for taking time to come and be with us this afternoon. Of course, he's going to give us her closing remarks before we go.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This must be our fourth. Is it our fourth
I
podcast?
think so, yeah.
Yeah, we're on fourth. Road to 100. Keep watching, subscribe, follow, like, share, comment. And also we have our drive coming up on the 16th. Please donate clothes, food, money if you have. We accept all kind of donations at the moment. So yeah, we'll have an advert on the screen somewhere
Yeah,
here.
somewhere. It's probably popping up, man. Just somewhere.
It's going to pop up.
NAZO is going to be there as well, guys. If you guys want to come and meet NAZO in person, she'll
And
also
give
be
her
with
a hug,
us. Yeah.
you know. Yeah, so on the 16th, the drive, please be there. You can also follow us on our socials to donate or contact us for anything.
Peace out. Boo, 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 boo. Thank you so much. Donna. Sabonga, man. Danko.